Hello, JPS scholars. My name is Pam Franklin. I'm one of the elementary assistant superintendents for JPS, and it is my pleasure to be here today to read two poems to you from this book by Shel Silverstein, and its title is Where the Sidewalk Ends. I have a third grader nephew. He and I picked out two of our favorite poems from this book to share with you today. And the reason we picked them is because it combines poetry and a little bit of math, which we love. The first poem that I'm going to read for you today is titled Smart. My dad gave me $1 bill because I'm his smartest son. And I swapped it for 2 shiny quarters because 2 is more than 1. And then I took the quarters and traded them to Lou for 3 dimes. I guess he doesn't know that 3 is more than 2. Just then, along came old blind Bates, and just 'cause he can't see, he gave me 4 nickels for my 3 dimes, and 4 is more than 3. And I took the nickels to Hiram Coombs down at the seed feed store. And the joker gave me 5 pennies for them, and 5 is more than 4. And then I went and showed my dad, and he got red in the cheeks and closed his eyes and shook his head, too proud of me to speak. So the question I want you to think about is, why do you think his dad was shaking his head and closing his eyes? Do you think he was proud, or do you think there may have been another reason? That's my first question for you. And my second question is, he started off with $1 bill and he ended up with 5 pennies. So did he have more money in the beginning or in the end? So that's the first poem by Shel Silverstein titled Smart. The second poem that I'm going to share with you today is called Band-Aids. And this is a picture from the poem of a little boy that seems to have Band-Aids all over his body. And I'm actually going to read this one twice. So the first time we're going to listen, and the second time I'm going to ask you to get paper and pencil, and we're going to do a little bit of math. Band-Aids. I have a Band-Aid on my finger, 1 on my knee and 1 on my nose, 1 on my heel and 2 on my shoulder, 3 on my elbow, and 9 on my toes, 2 on my wrist and 1 on my ankle, 1 on my chin and 1 on my thigh, 4 on my belly and 5 on my bottom, 1 on my forehead and 1 on my eye, 1 on my neck, and in case I might need them, I have a box full of 35 more. But oh, I do think it's sort of a pity I don't have a cut or a sore. So this poem is about a boy that, like a lot of young boys and girls, like to put Band-Aids on even when we don't need them. So I'm going to read it one more time, and if you have some paper and pencil, I want you to keep track of the number of Band-Aids that he has all over his body, and see if you can find the total number of Band-Aids that he has. So listen carefully, and I'll read it one final time a little more slowly. I have a Band-Aid on my finger, so that's 1. 1 on my knee and 1 on my nose. 1 on my heel and 2 on my shoulder. 3 on my elbow and 9 on my toes. 2 on my wrist and 1 on my ankle. 1 on my chin and 1 on my thigh, 4 on my belly and 5 on my bottom, 1 on my forehead and 1 on my eye, 1 on my neck, and that's it, and the rest of the poem, and in case I might need them, I have a box full of 35 more. But oh, I do think it's sort of a pity I don't have a cut or a sore. So, the question is, how many total Band-Aids does the little boy have on his body? Thank you for allowing me to share those two Shel Silverstein poems with you today, and I hope you will continue reading while you're at home.